Welcome to the NYAA Information Systems project. In our project, we discuss on how we can improve Amazon's delivery system through several methods. We started off by creating data flow diagrams. These are our first sketches of our level 0 data flow diagrams. It wasn't very efficient and it was too complicated. We made it simpler by just using one process and having one data flow diagram for our MIS and our TPS. And therefore this is our improved level 0 diagram of our MIS and TPS that is linked. We have three external entities with one process that is the delivery system. When looking at the level 1 data flow diagram, this was a little bit more complicated and our first sketch was messy. We thought about the idea of using the Amazon Information System database right in the middle as our main data store. This is our improved version of the level 1 data flow diagram. It does have a lot more detail than our old version. Half of our data flow diagram is the TPS and the other half is the MIS. We show the splits in our reports. The following week we had to work on our level 2 data flow diagrams. This is the first sketch of our MIS data flow diagram level 2 that does lack a lot of detail. Next up, this is one of our very first data flow diagrams for our level 2 TPS. This also does lack detail and have very few processes. On our final MIS data flow diagram for our level 2, we include 5 external entities, which are the customer, the manager, the driver, the bank, and the mechanic. We do go into a lot of detail, once again keeping our data store in the middle for all of our data flow diagrams. When looking at the level 2 data flow diagram of our TPS, we try to keep this as much as possible in line with our prototype, which we will show you in the following slides. It was in the level 2 TPS data flow diagram where we went in detail about each process involved with the driver. In general, tackling the level 2 data flow diagrams was a lot more difficult for us than the level 1 and the level 0. When we were working on to create the prototype of the TPS app, it involved a lot of logical thinking. Firstly, we thought about the driver needing for him to fill in his personal details and then having to click on scan to be able to scan the package. Once the package is scanned, as we were told, the location of the product would be shown to the driver for him to be able then to deliver the package. Next up, once he has the product information, the route info would be given to the driver for him to be able to use the GPS features on the TPS app. When the packages arrive to the location, there would be a rescan button, which would therefore need to be done for a confirmation of the delivery. However, if the package is not arrived, then they would have to contact the manager for it to be allocated to another driver. There are other features that we include in our horizontal prototype app. However, we do explain this in our report. Analyzing the stakeholders was something that was new to all of us. However, it was an achievable challenge. The first thing we did is identify our stakeholders and group them in the internal, external, and connected stakeholders. We then did a stakeholder analysis of a level of influence and power of the stakeholder against their level of interest. We split them in 4 quadrants with those we need to keep satisfied, manage closely, monitor, and keep informed. Lastly, our task was to focus on BPMN notation. This was new to us, but after having worked with the data flow diagrams, it wasn't so hard to think of the process. What we did is that we created different horizontal pools and lanes. Each pool represented a participant who took part in the internal process of the Amazon delivery system. In the BPMN, you can see that we've split the internal and connected stakeholders. This was the hardest part of the project for us. It involved a lot of thinking, especially while making the links between the stakeholders. However, thanks to this graphical representation, we were able to visualize the Amazon delivery system. Thank you for listening to the processes that we went through for this BPM lifecycle.